Hi, this is Sandro Forte, and today we're going to talk about step number 5 on the telephone path, which is something I refer to as the hotel question. Now, the hotel question, it needn't be a hotel, it could be an office, it could be the fact that you make it a professional business practice to visit people in their homes and office. That's absolutely fine. For me, I tend to like neutral venues. I don't really like, though our office in London is lovely, I don't necessarily like the big boardroom table. It feels a bit formal. It's not really in keeping with the style that I operate with, which is much more informal. And so I tend to meet people at private members clubs. I have a membership at 2 clubs in London and sometimes at hotels if that's more convenient. So I call it, generally speaking, the hotel question. So assuming we have now engaged with somebody that is quite interested in becoming financially more successful, I'm then going to follow that with, do you know the ABC Hotel? Or do you know the Ivy Club in Covent Garden in London? Usually I'm going to get a yes. If not, I explain where it is. Or we find a mutually convenient location somewhere between the two of us. I know there are lots of advisors who insist on clients coming purely to their office, and that's fine if that's the way you operate. And I know some advisors will only ever visit their clients in their home, and that's fine too. For me, because I'm busy and I want to manage my time effectively, it's the hotel or it's the club question. So do you know the Ivy Club in Covent Garden? Yes, I do. How about we meet there next Tuesday at 4 or Thursday at 10? Always good to give a couple of options. I'll buy the coffee and we'll have a very informal conversation. It'll take about an hour and a half. Now, I like to manage expectations because sometimes people say to me, oh, well, I only have, 45 minutes available. And I despair of advisors who say, okay, let's make it 45 minutes. We can't possibly hope to do a particularly effective job in 45 minutes. So what I then say in response to that, I've only got half an hour, only got 45 minutes, is I would prefer to wait until you have an hour and a half available because I do believe in doing my job properly. Yes, I can cut corners. Yes, we can keep it brief. But as you've heard me say before on videos, the fact of the matter is that when clients, for example, say, I would like to receive advice and get service from you, but I don't really want to pay the fees that you charge. Can you discount your fees? The answer is yes. I'd be very happy to discount my fees, but what part of the service don't you want to receive? And people say to me, well, what do you mean by that? And I said, well, if you want me to discount my fees by 50%, then I have to remove 50% of the services I provide, whether that's tax advice, whether it's regular reviews, whether it's fund switching. All of the services that I provide come at a time cost. So if you want me to halve the value of my time, then I have to remove half of the value of my service. And of course, when you put it to people like that, they normally change tact and say, no, it's okay, I'm happy to pay your fees. And so it is with this question around meeting up. I only have half an hour of time available. I can't do my job properly in half an hour, so let's wait until you've got an hour and a half. Even if I have to wait 2 or 3 weeks, better that than have 2 meetings, half an hour to try and squeeze in a brief conversation and then try and complete a fact find, for example, at some later date. Absolute no, 3, 4, 5 meetings. We should be collecting information at the first meeting and presenting at the second. And we'll talk a little bit on other videos about the meeting report and building bridges between the first and second meeting to make those more effective. So having established that we're going to meet next Thursday, for example, at 10 a.m., then I'm going to move to step number 6, which is what I call trivia. And trivia is really just about gathering the necessary information and reconfirming the arrangements. And we will talk about that in a bit more detail in the next video.